Great time. And hopefully next
And maybe even some of us older owners is, but I'm back.
Fools? Hit up, fools. Mizzah Tee here. And I just want to say, Mr. Aonuma, you're full of crap. Just like the title says, Mr. Aonuma, you're full of crap. And what I'm talking about is his answer to the gamepad features or lack thereof in the new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And let me first start by saying this is not some kind of referendum on the character of Aonuma or his abilities as a designer, director, because he's pretty much at the top god tier of designers and directors in video games as far as I'm concerned. This is not about that. This is about a specific reason, a specific thing that he said. This is not about him as a person or anything like that. Still love the guy. Enjoyed his games immensely, the Zelda series. There's no animosity towards him. This is just about this specific statement, this specific line of thought, reasoning behind what I'm going to talk about here. And I waited for a while before I decided to do this video, because I wanted to wait because it was contingent on the fact that this could have been a bad translation, Japanese to English, which happens a lot. So I wanted to wait, and I haven't seen any kind of news article that came out and said, yeah, this was a bad translation, or anything like that. So this is all contingent on that. This still could be a bad translation, and if that happens, I will redact this. But this is all based on the information that we know currently, so that's what this rant's going to be based on. So just putting that out there. Don't cry to me about that stuff. If you don't know, I'm sure you do, but if you don't know, Aonuma was asked about gamepad features and the new Legend of Zelda game, and why basically why aren't they being used? Why wasn't the gamepad being used? And his answer was, it was too distracting. I'm just gonna paraphrase here. Given the gamepad features, having to look down at the gamepad is too distracting. That's why they decided to not use gamepad features. Now I'm gonna talk about the obvious, but then I'm gonna talk about stuff that I think people have completely missed, and it's a pretty big glaring thing to why Aonuma is full of crap on this. Okay, so first let me just say he's full of crap because Wind Waker HD and recently Twilight Princess HD. He was very involved with both of those remakes and remasters, and they both use the gamepad pretty damn good, and it's not distracting at all, and he had no problem with that. So why all of a sudden, for a game that was built on Wii U, that would be make sense that most people would believe that the controller, the feature controller on Wii U will be utilized. Why now is the gamepad distracting? It's a line of BS. It's a total line of BS, and it leads me to believe that the delay of the Wii U version of Zelda Breath of the Wild was because they were taking the gamepad features out. And also, obviously, they were making the NX version, and the NX version doesn't have gamepad support or gamepad features. That kind of confirms that the NX will not have a gamepad controller or a gamepad-like controller, or be able to use the game. Maybe they'll be able to use it, like a backwards compatible thing. But if you buy the NX version of the new Zelda game, they won't expect you to have a gamepad, so they couldn't put the gamepad stuff in for the NX version. So they're basically handicapping the GameCube. They're basically handicapping the Wii U version of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the NX, and that's complete bullcrap. And I'm not afraid to call Nintendo on that. I called them on the way before when we found out, was it last E3? When we found out basically what, how the Wii U was going to be going out. Maybe it wasn't last E3. Maybe it was just like right before this E3. It's weird because I can't remember because the messaging from Nintendo has been out of this world bananas. I just can't, it's hard to follow. So I was very upset. I made a video about how I didn't like how the Wii U's Swan Song not being one specific game, but just the way it was being handled on its way out. I didn't like that, and they were gonna basically lay it out there to die, much like they did the Wii. And to me, that was a mistake because there's no momentum coming from one console to the next. That doesn't bode well for your next console, especially if you left your other console out there to hang. Man, it was like there's no major titles coming from the company for the foreseeable future, outside of Color Splash, which everybody just loves. There's nothing major coming from the other, other companies or other companies or Nintendo themselves. So I never liked how they were handling that. And so, basically, let's come back to Aonuma. I'm just gonna call BS on that because not only with that statement do you say you just take away the Wii U features for this Zelda game, but you also basically discredit the concept of Wii U with that statement. The reason for the Wii U's being, you just called into question, trying to defend why the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild does not have gamepad features. Trying to cover that up, basically, I hate to use the term because it's so wrongly used in this community, but I'm going to use it because this is the right way to use it. Basically trying to damage control why you don't have those features from the gamepad. By doing that, you're damaging the credibility, the main sticking point of the Wii U. I mean, imagine him saying that next to Miyamoto as he was explaining Star Fox Zero. Like, well, the gamepad is too distracting. I mean, this is the kind of stuff about Nintendo that drives me up the wall. They're kind of disjointed messaging from time to time. And this to me is probably the most egregious thus far, as far as the Wii U goes, especially. I mean, you just discredited the main sticking point of the Wii U by saying a game that isn't a fast-paced game. Zelda's not a fast-paced game. It is a perfect game for the gamepad. Because it's it's an action RPG. You'll be carrying a bunch of crap. It's perfect to be able to access that stuff on a different screen, not have to actually distract from your experience by pausing the game and scrolling through menus. It's so much easier to do that right there in the gamepad. It made sense. Everybody thought about what would it be before we knew that the gamepad wasn't going to really be used. Everybody had their ideas about it, and it annoys me because it gives like I said, former defendos ammunition. The guys who used to defend the Wii U, which, by the way, nobody asked you to do. Nobody asked you to defend Wii U or Nintendo. So by touting that you can no longer do that, you're not making yourself look good, because nobody asked you to defend them in the first place. But those guys who would defend the Wii U, defend Nintendo in the beginning, so let's say the first couple of years, and they came to a point where they're like, all right, well, I would like my gamepad, the stuff that you built this console for, I would like my gamepad to be used. I want games to use it. And then when games started using it, I don't like this. This is too distracting. This isn't working. I just do a regular control setup. And it's like you went from defending everything to asking for your gamepad to be used to saying your gamepad is useless. Like this is these are the steps you took. I just want to point that out. So you still have no credibility by now poo-pooing and then cheerleading Aonuma's statements. You still have no credibility by doing that. I just want to tell you. And Aonuma has even less credibility than you because he's made games that has used the gamepad and damn well. And by saying this, it's just bad. It's like I don't know if it was just an off the cuff, let me get out of this kind of situation and get out of here. Because I don't know how to defend the fact that we took out the gamepad features. Let me get back to the main point. I think that everybody's missing. This really proves that what Aonuma said, it was complete BS. And you know, obviously, like I said, the gamepad, it can be a great asset. You saw the games that it really is a great asset in. And but here's the main thing. Here's the main reason that he's full of crap. As we all know, the Zelda Breath of the Wild was built from the ground up on the Wii U. We all know that, right? And you would think that doing that, making a game ground up for a console, it would be utilizing the console's, you know, features, its assets, its, you know, its objectives. And we all know that the gamepad is the one controller that comes with the system. And do you think that Nintendo would not use that in any compelling way for this specific game, being that they've basically practiced on their remakes and the remasters? Do you think that they would specifically decide, no, we're not going to use a gamepad? And here's the reason, the biggest reason why Aonuma is full of crap. And it's called the Sheikah Slate. This is a device, this is a core device in the game, a main device in the game. And man, what does it look like? Doesn't it look like a damn gamepad? It looks like a gamepad. There is no doubt in my mind the Sheikah Slate came to fruition based on the gamepad. It is the visual representation inside of Zelda Breath of the Wild of the gamepad. That's what the Sheikah Slate is. And I didn't really realize this until I started watching some gameplay footage where Link pulls up the Sheikah Slate in front of his face and uses it like binoculars and to scan stuff. And it was just like, wait a minute, that's kind of what we do with the Wii U gamepad. You know, doing motion stuff and using it as a second screen to, you know, kind of even like the stuff we thought would happen if we got a Wii U version of you know, Metroid game. And it's a no-brainer looking at the Sheikah Slate and the motion stuff that it does. There's no denying that the Sheikah Slate was designed as Link's gamepad. There's no denying that. And that is the main reason that most people seem to have been missing why Aonuma is full of crap. And the main reason there is no gamepad features in, no big gamepad features anyway, in Breath of the Wild is that it was too distracting for the NX version. Peace out.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools. And thank you all for watching Mizzah Tee Show.